My loves, have a look at my pop-up cake cards. They come in their own envelopes with a little closure. Open it up to reveal a pop-up slice of cake. Look at that. All the way round. With this lovely back on it as well. You've got a fork on the front here that acts as a tuck spot. Underneath the fork, you've got a little card, could be a little napkin that you can open up to write your own sentiment or message. Now, if you're coming to this video from a different kit, that yours will go together in the same way. You can tuck that bit in if you prefer that look. I like it out a little bit. I know I get that gap, but I also get that nice rounded look of a piece of cake. And we've got this extra little pop-up on top of the pop-up as well for an extra little bit of dimension. So that's that one. I've also got the chocolate cake card. At the time of making this video, I've got the 2 kits. By the time you see this, there may well be more. So that will close either inwards or outwards, depending on your preference there. So that's the chocolate cake card. Like I say, if you've got another kit, then you can follow this one to put yours together. Let's have a look at how these things are made after talking about the envelope. The envelopes do come with a plain section here as well if you want to write on there and stamp and mail, and you'll want to secure that a little bit better. There we go. There is your absolute wow factor pop-up cake card ready to go. Come with me. Let's see how they're made. Right, I've got my bits and bobs cut out for the strawberry cake. You may be coming at this from a different kit, but the construction principles remain the same. So for each kit you want to make, for each pop-up cake card you want to make, you need a front and you need a back to the actual plate. I'm on 250 gram throughout, and you don't need to reverse print anything. So there's the cake plate, front and back. This is the envelope. You may choose to use a different envelope, in which case you don't need these pieces. You've got a back to the envelope, you've got a front to the envelope, and the kits also come with this area plain. So you've got, with this area plain. So you've got a writing space there if you want to. I don't see any reason why you can't post a different shaped envelope. I'm not sure about that though. And then you've also got this piece here, which comes on one of those pages. And then you've got the page with the actual bits and bobs for the cake pop-up mechanism with a couple of different things going on there. Right, I think we're ready to get going. First off, we are going to take our plate and we are going to score this. There's a faint line going down the middle. I've kept the line as faint as I possibly can for you, but it's there for you to score, make a good score there. Now this one, I haven't put a line on this one, but I know that I have on the chocolate cake card. So if you're doing the chocolate cake one, score that line as well. If you're doing the strawberry one or another one, then just fold this in half any old how, like this. This one you're going to fold right sides together, and the reverse of the paper plate you're going to fold plain side together so they fit together like that. No reason we can't go ahead and glue that right now. Where's my big glue gone? It's over here. So I'm going to get my big glue and I'm going to glue this whole back. There, and I'm going to stick this one on top of it very, very carefully. She said, diving through the glue. There we go. Line those up nicely. Now, because you're putting one piece of card on top of another piece of card and asking them to fold on top of each other, you will get a little bit of white space. That can't be helped. You can live with that or you can trim it off, but just do your best to line that up as well as you can and butt those hinges into one another. There we go. That looks great. Next up, we've got the actual card mechanism itself. This is the exciting bit here. We've got 2 tabs to score where this white meets the cake. Make a good score there. You've got a fiddly little bit to fold over there where it's really, really shallow. So make a nice positive crease there. Now then, on this one, it's easy to see on the strawberry one, not so easy to see on the chocolate one. Where this point here and this angle meets this straight edge here is where you want to be creasing on both sides. There we go. You've also got the back of the card. You've got 2 scores to make here where the tab meets the actual body of the cake. There we go, and that will do for now. Let's begin putting this together. It's so good. We're going to fold all these pieces, the cake panels, fold inwards, plain side to plain side, and these tabs do as well. And on this very, very end here, you disappear into nothing and it's very shallow. So just be mindful of making a nice fold there. Same on to the side. There we go. And the back of the cake, you can fold those 2 in like that as well. Right, let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, actually, before we do, there's a couple of other things to think about. Now, on each page, you get a candle. It's the same on the chocolate cake card as well. You get a candle and you get a little bit of frippery to stick in the top of the card. You don't have to use them. You can leave that bit out. But I've got that extra little bit of swirl in the chocolate cake one there. The candle one is worth noting because if you use the candle one, you're going to struggle. Well, you won't be able to get your cake in the envelope. There's one more fold we need to do on this envelope here. Let's do that on this cake. Let's do that now. Line up your tabs so they're lovely and square like that, and then fold your card in half nice and carefully, right side to right side, and you're creasing right down the middle of your cake like that. So that's done. Right, now we can talk about the little add-ons. We've got 2 little add-ons, like I say, and I'm going to do both of them to demo it for you and show you. So we've got one here. There's a little fold mark there. You can't really line that up overly well because it's not symmetrical, but you can line up these little tabs here at the end. So fold that one in half, and you've also got this candle, and your candle, oh, that's not going on my scoring board, is going to fold in half as well, so we can do that by hand. And also your candle flame, you can fold in half as well if you want to use it. I'll demo both, like I say, so you can decide whether you want to use it or not. So there is our candle and candle flame. The candle flame is just going to glue behind the candle itself. If you want to go ahead and just angle the top of your candle so you've got a bit of a rounded shape up there, just a little tiny bit, you can do. And then glue the bottom of your candle, bottom of your flame like that. Pop that in there, fold it so it's all nicely aligned, and there's your lovely birthday candle. Isn't that smashing? Right, now then, so here are our options, okay guys. We've got our cake folded in half. We're going to cut a V shape towards the back of the card. If we are making let's make the candle first. If we're making the candle, we can see where the candle needs to sit. I want to start it here and I want to end it just there. Now, if you want to make little pencil marks on your card, by all means go ahead. You want for this I'm going to say about a 45-degree angle. It doesn't really matter actually. The wider your angle from here to here, the more open your piece is going to be. So if you want your candle to look nice and skinny, do a steeper angle there. And then we're going to pop our candle in. Open it up, pop it in. If you need to make your slit a little wider, make your slit a little wider. I'm just going in there and feed it down. Now when your card is open like this, you can see, let's change angles here, Emma. You can see that you've got freedom to position your candle where you want it to be, and you want it to be straight up, right? But when we go to put this in the envelope, let's mock up the envelope here. Let's pop this in here, the way it's going to actually appear. Something like that. You can see that my candle is sticking out too far, and I'm not going to be able to get it in my envelope. It sticks out too far. You can either make a really stubby candle and really pull this through really low, but I think that looks a bit daft. So I would suggest only use your candle if you're going to be putting it in a different card and you've got more room. And the way we would stick this down is to position it upright like that, where we want it to be. Turn it over. You're going to make a snip in the bottom of your candle like that. Make sure you've got it sitting nicely, nice and straight. Nice and straight. Just wiggle that about till you've got it where you want it to be. And then you can fold these tabs over, holding that down there. Fold those tabs over and glue them in place. So that's your candle. And by all means use it, it looks great, but you're going to have to use a different envelope to the one I'm providing. Now then, where's the other bit? Where's the other bit gone? There it is. This is the little bit, and this bit will fit. I might need to make a bit of a longer slit there to accommodate it, because I think the tab's a little bit wider. There. Right, now pop that in and position it where I want it. I don't want that straight up. Unlike the candle, I want this on a little bit of an angle. So I'm just going to position it on the angle I want it, like that. That looks great. And then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to slit what's sticking out underneath in half. I'm going to get some glue on the underside, which is like the slight pinky side there. I'm going to make sure again that this is on the angle that I want. I want it laying a little bit more flat because it's more visible when you look at it, like that. And then I'm going to stick these pieces down. I'm going to hold those there till they grab. There we are, so that's on. And when I fold this now, you can see maybe that it folds flat a little bit more, and that will give us just enough to be able to get it in our envelope. So there we go, that's that. Right, let's actually make this now. Here's our lovely card, and it feels really nice and substantial because we've got those 2 layers on the go. Here's our card. We need the back of our card. This needs an extra fold. Again, I'm going to take my tabs, I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to fold that white side to white side like that. So that's our back. I can stick one of these pieces on. So making sure that this is the right way up, we're going to go like that. I'm going to glue this panel on here, like that. So if we loosely form our cake now, we've got this little door flap here, loosely form our cake into the triangular shape and sit the tip of it on this fold line here and roughly the back on that fold line. It's tricky to see and we're not asking for miracles here. We're just going to line it up so that our cake is sitting in the middle. You can use this inner circle as your guide. You want an equal space between the back here and the front. And when you've got that roughly lined up, put your finger on this tab on this side underneath, flip it over, and you can see exactly where you need to glue. And you're just going to wiggle this round a little bit so that this line here is in line with your fold. It can be just this side of the fold, it doesn't have to be dead on, but really just within a millimetre, so that this has freedom to fold. And with it, holding this in place now, we're going to flip this flap and we're going to take our glue and we are going to glue it down. Whoopsie daisy. We don't want this piece to move at this point. So turn that over and glue it down and let it grab. There, and when we're happy with that, we're going to glue this in one piece now. We're going to take this piece here, we're going to fold it over. We're going to apply some glue to this little tab here. Sunshine's coming and getting in the way of me lighting. Pop that down there like that. And then we're going to glue this white tab here. Fold your plate over and squish it all down and give it a good chance to grab. Doesn't have to dry, but it does have to grab. And it's a good idea to actually open up your work before the glue has had a chance to dry, just in case you've glued something you shouldn't have glued. So nice and gingerly, just open it up, check everything's working nicely, and it absolutely is. It looks fabulous. It looks really good. This bit here I can see is pulling away a little bit. That's just because this glue hasn't dried. But I know that I'm not gluing my cake to my plate, and that's the main thing. There we go. Let's give that a chance to dry properly now and have a look at my envelope, which is here. Here's my envelope. We've got a front to the envelope, we've got a back to the envelope. Like I say, you have got another page in the kit. If you want a plain piece here for writing on, for mailing, you can do. And our envelope is very simply a case of gluing two edges together to make a pocket. Now, you can see when I pop my card in here, these pieces here that are sticking out are very, very tight. So we're going to have to make, especially on these sides here, you could flip your card around. You've got exactly the same issue going on this side. So let's pop our card in. Let's butt it up against the folds for the envelope, the flap for the envelope. And now I'm going to glue around this edge, nice and shallow. I can see that on these pieces, I've got a little more space, so I can put a little bit more glue there to give me some nice strength. And then on these edges, all the way around, because this could equally be flipped round and be over here. So I want to allow for that. Nice and shallow on all my edges. And I can come a little bit more generously up there. Right, let's take this piece out. Let's grab this piece. Let's butt it up against this piece that we've already folded, by the way. Pop those in place. Stick your envelope together. There we go. How cool is that? Isn't that lovely? Half a plate for an envelope. Yeah, like I say, I don't know if you can send these through the post. I don't see why not. I don't know if the post office have regulations about squares versus circles. You don't see many circular or semicircular parcels, but parcels do come in all shapes and sizes. Shut up, Emma, you're rambling. Right, here's our closure for this now. And I want to give, Let's have a think. Yeah, I want to give as much as possible to the glued section. So this is sticking really nice and flat. I'm going to position that, actually, yeah, position that where you want it. Open this up like this so you can see what you're working with. Glue everything below this flap here. Allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Don't go right up to the edge against the side of the envelope here. Glue this piece down. Fold that back over. Stick it down. There we go. I can release that then. And let that stick down there. I've got a little strawberry closure. That's brilliant. And we are nearly done. We've got the fork to pop on. So on our plate here, we can open this up. I nearly glued it together. So do check that. You don't want to accidentally glue it together. I've got my little bit sticking up on a shallow angle there, which is nice. I've got a fork and I'm going to stick my fork on in a way that enables my little card here. I'm going to fold in half to tuck underneath. I want it to be not sticking out. So again, I can position my fork nicely on the plate. I can have that sticking out just a little bit if I want to. See, all your sticky out bits are there. And that's a nice little bit of whimsy maybe to have that sticking out just slightly. I'll put my fork on a slightly different angle to my cake. I don't want it like lining up like that. It's a bit too neat for me. You can do if you want. There's my card tucking underneath. I'm going to take the whole lot up now, turn it over. I'm going to glue the bits of my fork that aren't covered with my card. Again, I'm not going right up to the edge. You need to give a little bit of wiggle room. Take all of that. Oh, I've glued right up to the edge of my fork, haven't I? And I was going to have that sticking over the edge. And position this where I want it to go. And for me, that's there. That looks lovely to me. Got a bit of glue on the back of there. That'll dry. There we go. And that's it. My little card tucks under there. Looks really, really lovely. Could be a little napkin. There's my finished card. It folds like that. Don't know if this has had enough time to dry. Let's pop it in the envelope. There we go. That fits beautifully. We've got a folding closure here, and I've allowed you just a tiny little bit of gusset on the design there so that these designs will line up quite nicely. You can tuck this under, and there is your finished card. There it is. If you're mailing it, you've got the plain one there. We've also got some sentiments here, and I haven't used those. Do what you like with them. There we go. I might choose to pop one of those on there. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, I'm going to go with the With Love one. That's going to be more useful to me. I'm not sure who I'm going to give this card to yet, but this one will cover me for all eventualities. There, I'll pop that on there. Pop that under there. That's lovely, really nicely finished. Pop it in my envelope, my unusual envelope. Like I say, you don't have to use the envelope. Use your own envelopes if you want to. And you can also adapt these pieces to be a pop-up in your journal, etc., etc. There we go. We're done. Here's the chocolate one. Also looking lovely. Haven't made the envelope for that one yet, but I will do. There we go, loves. Hope you love that. I hope you get a real wow factor when you give this and it's received beautifully. Have fun. I will see you next time.